Hey guys, Logicon here, back with another video. Today we're going to be unboxing and reviewing these Dzhongd resistance bands. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so you can see here that it comes in a nice plastic bag just for shipping purposes. Inside is obviously the product itself. It comes in a nice mesh bag. This is something you could throw in your gym bag, have no problems with. Just toss it in, it's probably not going to get all banged up anyway. It's got a nice one of those drawstring things on it. Pull it open, inside it looks like we've got a red one, dark blue one, and a light blue one. Alright guys, now we're going to be taking a look at the individual bands themselves. First there is a blue band, a red band, and a black band. I want to see which ones are the most difficult in terms of how hard it is to pull them apart, just with my arms real quick. So let's start with the blue band. This one is fairly difficult to do something like that. Not too difficult though. The red one, let's rank that. This is easier than the blue one. If I was going to rank it, it's a lot easier. So let's put this right here. And this black one, just picking it up, it feels a lot more stiff than both of these combined. And it is actually fairly difficult to do something just like that. So yeah, I think the correct order to rank these is going to be, the red one is going to be the easiest one for you to use. This blue one is going to be the second hardest, and the black one here is going to be the hardest for you to use if you were using these on your workouts and exercises and stuff like that. Alright guys, I also just wanted to quickly look at the differences between something like these Dzhongd fabric resistance bands and something like these Ignite resistance bands that I got a couple of months ago for my birthday. So some of the pros and cons between these two things are, like I said, obviously these ones are made of fabric, so they're probably going to be less prone to ripping and stuff like that. I did look at this red one. There is a small tear on it after a couple times using it. I'm not sure if that was there during manufacturing or anything like that. It doesn't seem like a super big issue unless you're pulling pretty hard on these things. You do have to keep that in mind, of course, when you're using something like this. Although I think that fear would probably be mostly gone when you're using something that was made of fabric. If I was going to rank these, though, for sure, it would be in this order as you go up the line. This one is the easiest, and this one being the hardest. This middle two, these two are very similar, actually, in how difficult they are to use. Both not super hard at all. Most beginners could probably use them. Although I think something like this, these super light and thin resistance bands from Ignite, would probably be better for something like speed work, something that was a lot of quick movements and things like that. Whereas something like this would be good for strength and training, just long repetitions for really, really hard work. So I think that's where the two things, they start to have a line. These are purpose built for something like that, where these are probably more focused on getting that speed work in and things like that. So I would say that that's the main difference between the two. Alright guys, now we're going to be looking at the actual exercises that they give you in the booklet. The things that they tell you would be good for using these bands. We're going to try a couple of them and see how they feel. We're probably just going to do it on the red one and the black one just to get the difference between the two and see how difficult they actually are to use. So the first one we're going to try is the standing up, holding it, like I said, holding it in between your arms and just doing a full stretch. So like I said, this one is super easy, and it's going to work out your muscles right here and right here. Just pull them apart there. So you just do that however many times you want until your arms are sore. You'll be good to go. You can do the same thing with this one. I imagine it'll be a lot harder. So you put it there and you just try and get it as far as you can. Obviously this one is super strong. I can't even hold it apart. But if you get good at that and you work your way up, you go through the red and all the way through blue and to black, you'd be able to use these eventually, probably, with no problem at all. Alright guys, it looks like another one of these stretches here is to take one of these bands and put it under your leg like this. You're going to end up pulling up on it like this. So this is only going to work one arm at a time, but it's also one of those you could switch the other leg and use it on the other arm. So let's try out with the black one. That red one was pretty easy there. I think that's something everyone could probably do. Put it through the black real quick and pull up on it. You can get a little bit more leverage on it. This is a little bit easier of a motion to move your arm in. It's like picking something up. You can just pull it against your leg. It doesn't hurt your leg at all. It doesn't feel like it's going to give me a rash or anything like that, just from, like carpet burn or anything like that. So I wouldn't be too worried about using these on something, on bare skin or anything like that. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it in terms of how you're going to use something like this. You're just going to want to follow the instructions until you can get to a point where you feel like you're comfortable doing an activity like this. They have lots of exercises in there. They had about 6 exercises and things that you can do just in between your workouts and stuff like that. These also help keep you really stretched and stuff like that. So I would recommend using them 100%. In terms of keeping care of these particular bands, you're supposed to wash them in cold water with no harsh chemicals and let them air dry after that just to make sure that they last the test of time. Obviously, these ones are a lot stronger in terms of build quality than the rubber ones we have back there. They serve different purposes and stuff like that, so take that into consideration before you buy something like this. With that being said, thanks guys for watching, and be sure to hit that subscribe button. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Oh, it's so difficult. Oh. You could use so many exercises. So difficult.